Get ready, Richmond. ChefsFeed Indie Week is coming to town later this week. This popular national dinner series pops up from coast to coast. You can enjoy dishes from some of the country's top chefs, including these two lovely ladies, two of which are with us today. Award-winning chef and restaurant owner Brittany Anderson is here along with chef Olivia Wilson, ready to share a tasty preview of the event. Welcome to Virginia this morning. Welcome back and welcome here for the first time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. It's lovely to have you. And you guys are the ones, like, you know, those people who post all those annoying pictures of their dinner, like up close and personal. That's me when I visit these two restaurants, because everything on both menus is phenomenal. But two kind of inspired restaurants. They're a different cuisine maybe for this area, and both kind of play off each other.
Sure. So at Metzger we like to do kind of a modern take on German food, and at Brenner Pass we do our kind of modern take on the French and Italian Alps. So two kind of cuisines that aren't highlighted as much, but something we really like to share with our guests here.
You have been, and I'm sure it's probably not the first thing you do is start singing your own praises, but Brittany, you've been recognized like mega big time for the work that you're doing here with both restaurants. Can you share a little bit about that?
I've been very lucky to get to work with really incredible people who've helped support me in my career, and we've been nominated for a couple of James Beard Awards, and I recently competed on Iron Chef. So fun things, and hopefully we'll just keep continuing doing that.
Yeah, just a couple nominations for James Beard. It's no big whoop, right? You know, in a day, again, with the Instagram feed, folks who follow me know that I'm a mega fan of German food. But I read articles that say that German food's having a tough time, right? It's kind of some folks it's a little heavy, right? Some folks are not necessarily seeking it out. That you have a different spin to some degree.
This is true. I think that a lot of the big old German beer halls that are making heavier food and classic Bavarian traditions are kind of dying out. But what we try to do is lighten that food up for a kind of new generation, a new kind of German cuisine. So hopefully that's the future of German cuisine, and we can see more restaurants doing that.
And Olivia, hot and happening at Brenner Pass here in Scott's Edition. You have so much traffic coming in to see you and try out the menu.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I think on the same note with German cuisine, we try to make the Alpine cuisine very approachable, and it is very comforting, and especially in the summer times, we're excited to use all these fresh ingredients, and you'll see that in our dish that we're making today.
We are making a peach tomato tart.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily pair those two together. How is this going to work?
Well, I think the sweetness and the bright acidity of the tomato goes really well, and then we'll have a nice rich pecorino mousse and fresh pecorino cheese, all in a pâte brisée crust.
Awesome.
It's kind of like a salad in a tart shell.
I love. Well, I'm already intrigued. I think we're warmed up here, so we'll get started with making it all together.
Sure.
It looks pretty fresh. These are ingredients of the season.
Yeah, really seasonal. All local ingredients from here and right outside of Richmond. We've got tomatoes from Village Garden, which is in Hanover County. Peaches are from Crown Orchard or Agriberry?
Saunders, actually.
Saunders peaches, a local farm. And we're gonna make some pickled mustard seeds, and Olivia is gonna show you guys how to make a pâte brisée, which is the tart dough. So I'll start by combining 1 cup of mustard seeds. These are just yellow mustard seeds. 1 cup of sherry vinegar.
Okay. And again, these world-class chefs have to use our cook set, which is, you know, that throws a little, it's an ingredient that you don't necessarily account for all the time.
We've got a 1/2 cup of sugar, about a tablespoon of salt. I'm gonna save a little for later. And then equal parts water to your vinegar.
Okay.
Pickled mustard seeds are a really cool condiment because they give you the flavor of mustard without the assertive heat, or and it's got a little more pickle to it, a little more acidity. So we're just gonna let this come up to a boil, and then you'll reduce it down until it's sticky. The mustard seeds have kind of expanded, and they're still crunchy, but they definitely have more of like a kind of sticky, jammy texture. Yeah, it's really delicious.
So this condenses down to become
this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So pickled mustard seeds, and now this is something that not many of us would touch with a 10-foot pole, but you could probably do it with your eyes closed, Olivia.
Yeah, so we're making pâte brisée, but it's basically like a pie dough that we've all, you know, learned from Joy of Cooking and that kind of thing. But I use an adaptation of Julia Child's recipe, and something I learned in culinary school too. So with 3 cups of just all-purpose flour with kosher salt, and then we have about like 1/2 cup of cubed butter, and then I use shortening Sometimes in some savory things that include meat, I'll use lard or something like that because it gives it a lot of really nice flavor. So you can kind of combine this just with your hands.
And that's kind of an adaptation in and of itself because a lot of times you see maybe an all butter recipe, right?
Right, and I think this gives the flakiness and the pockets of like air in the dough that make it similar to like a puff pastry or that kind of thing. So you kind of just break this up until smaller clumps form. You can also use a pastry cutter if you don't want to get as messy as me.
I try to follow like the recipe, that's because you guys are chefs and you're comfortable with this, but I would feel like I'm warming that butter up way too much by doing it with my hands.
So I go pretty quick, and I leave larger clumps than most recipes kind of call for, and then add the water, and I'll eyeball it. I'm bad at following recipes.
That's why you just invent them. That's what a great chef does. Brittany, talk about Chefs Feed Indie Week. This is happening, and it's kind of a big deal.
Chefs Feed Indie Week is a pretty incredible experience. I've been a part of it for 3 events. This will be my 4th event, and now I'm hosting. 24 chefs from across the country, Michelin Star chefs, James Beard Award winners, just the newest, coolest chefs around that I want to meet and eat their food. They're all coming to Richmond for 3 nights of dinners. So 12 chefs cook on Thursday night, 12 chefs cook on Friday night, and then on Sunday night, we all collaborate and they're paired up. So I'm cooking with Annie Petrie, who owns a restaurant in Nashville called Decca. I'm very excited about that. And we all kind of get to learn from each other. We get to share other people's food with our guests. And I think people in Richmond who don't get to experience, these people's restaurants all the time by traveling. So it's a really cool thing. And this year it's sponsored by ChefsFeed, which is an app that has recommendations by us, by our chefs. And it just recently launched here in Richmond, where you can go log on and see where I like to eat in Richmond or where Olivia likes to eat. We're both members, we're both experts on the ChefsFeed app. So it's a really neat kind of combination of talent and people, and one of the best things that I ever got to do.
What an awesome tool. So basically rock star chefs get to acknowledge other rock stars and share where you would go when you go to visit a different city.
Yes, definitely.
Wow, that's pretty fantastic. That'll be wonderful to share with Richmond. I think Richmond's gaining that reputation, or maybe already has, about being a culinary destination, but this really puts it there.
Definitely.
So we have about a minute left, and I know you guys we have to do all the assembly. Can we make the magic happen? I know.
Let's make it happen.
I could gab with you gals all morning.
So we have a finished tart shell.
Okay.
Basically, Olivia would roll this out and put it in into a ring mold and bake them off, and then they leave me these. Then what we're gonna do, like I said, a salad and a tart shell. We're gonna cut some of these beautiful tomatoes from Village Garden, and we're gonna just pop them in here. We've got all kinds of beauty little things.
And while you put those in, Brittany, you mentioned that there is a charitable angle to the exciting event that's happening.
Yes, so Woodford Reserve is also a sponsor of the event, and they are, we're participating in a program called Pair and Share, where we are created cocktails with Woodford Reserve, and all the proceeds from those cocktails are donated to a charity, which is No Kid Hungry. You can find these cocktails and pairings all across Richmond at different restaurants like the Roosevelt, Brenner Pass, Metzger Bar and Butchery, Jasper. Lots of different great places are gonna have these cocktails, and every drink you drink, it goes to a good cause, which is worth it for me to have a few cocktails sometimes. So it's pretty great.
Enjoy responsibly, and then make sure that you head home and have a great evening.
Yes.
But that's really cool. So you've assembled all these. Now, I said at the beginning, some folks might not expect to pair peach with tomato. How does that work?
I think that, it's like what grows together goes together. So peaches and tomatoes, both really, really big, especially right now in August. They're popping off. So we like to use those things, and I think that they make a lot of sense. The sweetness of the tomatoes and the sweetness of the peaches. Plus, we're going to put a little bit of this Dijon vinaigrette on.
All right. And producer's giving me a wrap. So you have created an awesome showcase of summer That's pretty much it. You garnish and then you put the magic.
And we have a finished product over here.
Well, good luck this week, ladies, and thanks for being with us. Great stuff, yes, and thanks for doing what you're doing for Richmond. Everybody across the country knows us. Enjoy 3 nights of culinary magic when Chefs Feed Indie Week kicks off this Thursday, August 23rd at Brenner Pass and Scotts Addition. For more information, we'll have a direct link on our show website early this afternoon, WTVR.com/VTM. There's the magic right there. Be sure to tune in this Thursday as well when another participating chef joins us, Washington, D.C. based executive chef. Are you starstruck?
I love Cable. He's wonderful.
Cable Smith. He's going to make a seafood dish. We are looking forward to that. Thank you again, ladies. Before I head to break, though, it's time to make you a winner. One of the hottest tickets in town, and we've got the hookup. Caller 6 right now, 342-5745, wins 2 tickets to enjoy a great culinary experience. You just gasped, and you're even in on it. Chefs Feed Indie Week, 2 tickets, 342-5745 is the number. Good luck. We hope to see you on the other side of the break.